is like the exact like color I'm going for. And that's AI generated, by the
Oh,
way.
you really want it to be that bright?
Yeah, like I want the colors to stand out, man. Like
Oh, you want really bright. Okay, okay, yeah. Can do that.
I don't know if it's necessarily like super bright, but it's like high contrast, right? Like black, the black
You
lines in the bark. Like I want contrast. I want colors to pop out. I hate
it's like
games that are like dull. I don't know how to explain it.
no, I know exactly what you mean. Okay, I can do that. I get why you said anime. I get why you said anime now
Yeah,
because
because
it's
it's like
like
it has the feel of a redwood forest, but it has the cartoony like color scheme.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like light blue turquoise, very whitish, foggy glow in the background that really makes this striking.
Well, yeah, and like that's a redwood forest is foggy like most
Oh
of the
really?
year. That's why they grow so big. Yeah, I told you like redwoods are notorious for having some of the like shittiest roots. Like they don't have crazy root systems, and so they rely on fog to absorb moisture. That's why they grow so tall and stuff, so they could get up to the fog,
Some
get
days
everything.
I wake up and go outside and I'm like, what? I don't remember there being a distance fog, and then I realize I'm in a fucking cloud. And like, oh
You must live
nice,
up
okay.
on a mountain now.
Hate to interject, but isn't there a type of tree that only grows leaves really high up because like it can't get like light down to the bottom of it, so it just grows like leaves very high up, and
That's
it's
I'm
like
in
one big
sure.
the
chunk.
forest.
About
Yeah,
10
it's in a
years
forest, but
ago,
it's like one big
someone
chunk all the way up.
about 10
Go
years
on.
ago, someone like took some samples and like was looking at the very top, the tippy top of redwood trees, and they like discovered some new life form that literally only grows on the tops of redwood trees. I thought that was
Huh,
pretty cool.
that's really neat.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's
Who was telling about the frog that poisons the water supply where it lays its tadpoles, so that other animals don't go and eat the tadpoles?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I think it was in the server. I feel like it was in the server. Yeah, the poison dart frog. The reason it's poisonous is because it eats ant venom, and
that
it
was
can then.
Lone one told me the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny because I told Lone and Lone. So, but yeah, there's like a
I've
tree.
never said anything about a poison dart frog. I don't know what you
You
guys
Well,
are
it
didn't.
might have
talking.
been me. It
No,
might
I
have been
No,
didn't.
me telling you then.
he's trying to Mandela effect us.
It might have been me telling you then. But yeah, they poison like a little pool of water in a specific type of plant because it can protect its tadpoles and kill any spider or anything that tries to eat the tadpole, which I think is impressive. Nature's scary, man. You as a person go get a drink of water from that plant, you're dead in seconds.
Man, you guys remember that time that Nelson Mandela was held down by Dunning Kruger and shaved by Occam's razor?
I don't know what you just said.
Yeah, that happened
Is
last
that like
weekend
a
I
with the
didn't know
movie or
Macullans.
either.
something?
No, I was just trying to sound smart, sorry.
I just watched the most fucked up crime video today. Holy shit, dude. There's some nutty people out there. Dude was like, I guess they have some sort of psycho scale or something that like some sort of test tell if someone's a psychopath, and it goes up to like 40. And Jeffrey Dahmer, that like famous cannibal, scored like 23. And this kid in this crime thing scored 38. He was like talking about how like anytime he sees anyone, he just these visions just come to his head on like different ways he could kill them. Like and like that's the first thing he thinks
Kill
of. Like
family, kill your family, kill
yeah,
your
yeah.
like,
It's just
Can you
nuts that
believe that
people like
Windows
that
10 is?
exist, dude.
Can you believe that
What the
Windows
fuck
10 is
happened to them
going
to make them like that?
next
they
year?
played
Windows 10 is end
violent
of life.
video games.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Played
when we
too
were
many
kids and everyone
violent
would be
video
going on?
games.
Do you remember when we were kids and everyone would be going on about how GTA was dangerous for growing children's minds? on the news. The
Well, it
media was trying
definitely
to
can't be good, but I don't think it's gonna fucking create
Same as
serial
watching fucking
killers.
Same as watching what's his name, Al Capone, isn't it? That guy that murdered every fucker. If you watch that, is that going to turn you into a nut job? No.
No, but it
If you,
definitely can't be good.
yeah, but I'd argue that if you're an absolute psychopathic prick, I'd rather somebody be on GTA. I'd rather that psychopath be on GTA
Your
killing civilians on GTA than
your
you know.
your
doing
honor,
it wrong.
my client forgot that he wasn't in GTA.
It's probably
fair.
happened. It's schizophrenia. It's probably happened. Let's be honest.
To be fair, my
It's
client
probably
thought he was in
happened.
GTA, Your Honor.
If that was a mental health argument, it would probably work. Let's be honest.
It's a fucked up thing because like I don't think schizophrenics are inherently like
Bad people. No, they're not.
opposed to like violent thoughts. It's just that they're more easily influenced by things. So like whatever they like some of
To
the
be a
earliest things they see
schizophrenic,
as schizophrenic, it like sticks with them forever.
a dangerous schizophrenic is a schizophrenic who has psychopathy as well. If you don't have psychopathy, you won't hurt anybody when you're schizophrenic. Because you still have morals, you still know what's right and wrong, you're just fucked in the head.
You know about
Do you
that
know what I mean?
Terry Davis guy, the Temple OS guy?
I'm going to look it up now. 2 seconds.
That guy's a legend. He made his own operating system, his own programming language. He was schizophrenic and he'd occasionally
Temple
drop
OS,
the
yeah.
N-bomb, but other than that,
The
he was
most base
pretty
people in society
crazy
are
smart.
racist. The intelligence and racism go hand in hand for some fucking reason. It's probably pattern recognition. The more
I don't
intelligent you are, the
know. I
more
don't know. That's
likely
a
you are to
wild
be
thing to
racist.
say.
It's pattern recognition. Racism is purely pattern recognition. You don't have to say it out loud and be a dick about it, but racism fundamentally is pattern recognition.
That sounds wrong. That sounds like completely
Based off
made
pattern.
up.
No, not.
It's
That's
I
based off
don't.
just
I
it's
pattern.
just
don't. I don't
ignorance.
agree
Like
with that. No.
I get
don't
what
agree
you're
with that.
Stereotypes
saying.
are
Like
pattern.
if you're around only stereotypes of something, then you can just build up. Because like if you were intelligent, you wouldn't let a stereotype allow you to judge everyone of that cultural group. Like that's
I'm telling you that
the
the more
opposite
intelligent
of
you are, the
intelligence.
more pattern recognition that you do. Pattern recognition is a massive part of intelligence. And if you think that you can pattern recognize a dog breed but not pattern recognize a race, then you'd be doesn't mean it's right.
It's not a race
Doesn't make
isn't
it
an
correct.
issue, it's a culture, dude. Like because like let's
Race and
say
beauty
race has
goes hand
nothing
in
to
hand.
do with like behavior, it's just culture. And you can have the same race all over the world having different cultures.
We spoke to a Thai national who just sounded indistinguishable from just a Westerner the other day because his English was just that good.
Yeah, that guy, I was talking to him too. He's super cool.
I
Yes,
remember
last night.
meeting people who have if you talk to them on the phone, you have no idea, and it's just like they spend like 10 years in a Western country or something, and you just get like that. I also went to school with a bloke who was a Korean and was adopted, and he was just an Australian bloke who looked Korean.
Yeah, but you're forgetting that these people are ones that succeed in assimilating. These are the people that want to be Australian and have worked hard to get where they are and deserve it.
My dude,
Right?
Australia is a multicultural country, so
Australia is not
anyone can just be
it's two cultures. It's white and it's
Unless you're-
native. Don't lie to yourself. Australia isn't multicultural. Neither's England, neither's Germany, neither's France. They're not multicultural countries. They only are in the last 20 years. And you can't blame people for pushing back on that.
No, Australia
I was
was
alive when it
multicultural
was a
before then.
multicultural.
Probably why
Australians,
it's
the only
easier
two
for it to become
multicultural as in
multicultural.
bicultural. It's bicultural, white and natives.
Indeed.
You have a lot of Chinese and Asian there at the moment, though. A lot of
So
Chinese
there's
and
always
Asian.
been a lot of people here. Yeah.
But these people aren't necessarily problems because they want to be Australian. Do you know what I mean? Like if you want to be Australian, then there's never going to be a problem there.
Anyone can be Australian, my dude.
And that's what I'm saying. If I go to Poland and I want to be a Polish man and I respect the culture and I learn Polish and all this stuff and I'm not going to be disliked. But if you purposefully go to Poland and say I'm not learning Polish and all this shit, you're going to be disliked. I'm sorry, you are. You are.
Racism exists, yeah.
That's not racist.
Countries are racist.
I'd argue not. countries are links to like cultural homelands.
I reckon if you look at the past 70,000 years, and you
Then we're the most
consider
peaceful we've ever been.
how much population there is now and how easy it is to move anywhere around the planet, I wonder in 1 or 2,000 years whether race will even really be a thing. You know, there'll
Yeah,
be there'll definitely be small groups, but enjoy the
Don't believe that in the
diversity
next
that
10 years.
exists while you can, because I think that if you look at how different people were from the past and we're still the same species, and race is like not much of a difference at all. It's like
I
barely
genuinely
anything.
believe in the next 10 years we'll see a race war. So, you know,
I
no.
doubt it. It'll
I
always
think
just be different
genuinely,
cultures,
there's
man.
a lot of, I hate to be that person, but there's a lot of white people who are getting fucking pissed off. Really pissed off. And I'm not saying that I would ever be on the side of one or the other, right? But they are. Because, like, these are the points that they make. Why are the only countries that need diversity and need multiculturalism white countries? Why are we not trying to turn a fucking, a Saudi Arabia into a multicultural place? And that's a good argument. Why are, literally, you can look at every country in the world, the only countries that are apparently racist and inherently racist and need diversity are white countries. And you can't blame people for seeing this and getting pissed off. There's documents on the internet from the United Nations and the World Economic Forum which literally talks about replacing white people. They're on the internet with the .org at the end. And they're definitely official documents. And they talk about it openly. And the reason they talk about it is because they can be so brave about it because they know we won't do anything. Which is why I'm saying we need to show them what we will. And unless we do show them what we will, we'll be gone in 10 years. England's not going to be Christian for much longer, if it even is anymore. And that's a fucking big shame. Because then how do you protect the churches? You don't. It's a shame. I really wish that things were different, but they're not. So, oh well. What question, Pudding? How old are you?
Me? Why'd you
Yeah.
go on like a full racist rant and then be like, how old are you?
I'm just a based fan. I don't hate somebody because of their race. Do you know what I mean? It's in the same way that like I don't hate. It's in the same way that I don't hate people that follow Islam, but I don't like Islam as a religion. Same with Judaism. I don't dislike the people that follow it because that's their belief, but I don't like the religion. I don't agree with it, and that's perfectly acceptable. And in the same way that I don't agree with some cultures, it's
in Europe, so it's quite good actually.
I could
It's
not
actually-
handle that BMT guy anymore, man. He was saying
Yeah.
some fucking dumb shit.
This
Yeah,
room's
he-
really harsh. I'm dying a lot. But I want to.
At least there's no concept of lives to this game. Thank fuck.
Oh yeah, no. This would be really hard with lives. So it's pretty tough because your gravity is based on the background and the direction you jump is based on that too. So like the white area you go up, the black area you go down, but you jump opposite the gravity. It's like if it's very white, you jump very down. If it's very black, you jump very up, just depending on when you hit the button and where you are at the time. Which makes it very hard.
That really hurts
Why?
my eyes.
Oh, sorry.
Ah, so close.
Yeah. There's also a secret area in this room. Like this is the only like secret area in this game. But if you go in here, it's a secret wall.
Oh my
What the
god,
hell?
no.
Yeah, the spikes don't kill you in this room. But it does keep track of how many times you got hit by the spikes in this room.
That is amazing. I hate it and I love it.
What am I looking at?
What's going on?
The Bad Apple video.
I'm back.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, this surprisingly, this isn't why I made the game. This says something like I have an after. I'm like, oh, I should do this.
Secret bonus room.
Yeah, it's just a vibing room. I like that. Like, I'm tired of playing this game for now. I'm just gonna vibe.
Kind of. Not really though, because it keeps track of your score of how many times you hit the wall, hit the spikes. So you can actually get through without hitting them at all, and it'll give you a not really a reward, but it'll tell you that.
Like, you did flawless on the bonus room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Very clever usage of the black and white area of the video too.
Yeah, for a long time I wanted to make a game that's Bad Apple, but you can play it. But it's really hard because like if the areas instantly kill you or something, then like it's too hard to like be in the right place. Or like if you have to like stay in one for a certain amount of time or something, I guess that could work. But like basically this doesn't instantly kill you or anything. Like the areas don't inherently damage you, and you can react to it. Well,
I'm not gonna lie,
react
you guys make me
exactly,
feel like a boomer when I'm in here because what the hell is Bad Apple? Am I just getting old or something?
I mean, it's
No,
from
we're
like
just terminally
2009.
online, dude. It's fine. This is just terminally online bullshit.
Bad Apple's pretty old now.
Yeah, Bad Apple's insanely old at this point.
How old?
What is it? What is insanely old? Describe old.
I think Bad Apple, like the music video, is from 2009, but the original song is from the 90s.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just not a weeb and a weeb on the
Again,
same weeb
terminally
level.
online stuff. This is for people who are constantly online on bullshit. Like,
I mean, I've been
I-
online
I-
for 20 years. I've never seen that.
Yeah, me neither. I literally never heard of it, but okay.
Very famous music video.
it really is.
If you're into Japanese stuff, I guess, yeah.
No, if you're into like anything, like this is like, you know how like they put Doom on like every console?
They
Or,
did
like,
the same
every-
with Bad Apple, yeah.
Bad
That's
Apple
why
is
it's
something, if
become famous.
it can be conveyed visually, they'll do Bad Apple for it.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that in my life.
Me neither.
We got different algorithms, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different target groups.
I guess.
I'm not doing
But
too well
everywhere
in
I
this Bad
saw
Apple.
something about Doom being remade into a different fucking console or a different device, they did it with Bad Apple as well.
Yeah.
Like when they had Doom running on a pregnancy test, they did the same thing with this thing.
Oh yeah.
It's just a meme kind of bullshit thing.
It's like the keyboard cat, but anime.
Yeah. Yo, I love the fact that your the tiles in the background also changed with the video. I just noticed that.
Oh, yeah, because the background determines what tile color is. 34 is not bad. 34 is like, my best is 32. I need to get better at my Apple age. I also, maybe I should change that font because it kind of sucks. But yeah, I'll actually like try to get through this room now that I'm not like incentivized to like show the that Apple part.
That's really cool though. Thanks
you.
thanks for the demo.
Yeah, I'm gonna dip out for a bit. I got a couple people testing some surfs up stuff, and I wanna.
No, take care, Bear.
Thanks. Yeah, hit me up if you need anything. I'll be back a little later. I got some meetings. in a
Later,
while.
dude.
Hell yeah.
But,
Peace,
thanks
peace.
again. Thanks everybody. You guys are all great. Everyone here's fantastic.
You too.
I hope he implements PvP for his game soon.
Okay, this
Oh,
is the
for-
noise room. I really like the noise room, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna include it. So I don't know if you've picked up on this, but the way the gravity works is it's the pixel behind the center of your character. So if you're just in noise, then like gravity will essentially be like random. Like every time you move, gravity becomes random. So like you kind of just have to like randomly like move and hit buttons to get through this. I think it's really funny because it's like a really interesting like implication of like how the game works, but it's not like it's annoying to speedrun. Like everything else in this game, you can just like, oh sorry, you just go like this. Oops. And this is the last level I have right now, since I'm really bad at it.
Neo, what are you playing?
A game that I'm working on.
Is it like a Godot game?
Yeah.
How do you export to web?
There's just a web export.
Oh, sick.
It's
I did an EXE, but
yeah, no, it's not an exe. It's like a it's like a web export. I forget what it's.
so if I wanted to make an iPhone game in Godot, there's two ways I can think. The first one would be making a web app and then putting the game in the web app and then making the add to home screen thing, if you know what that is. Or
I've heard that the iOS export, like the web app thing, doesn't really like work that well, or like
well, surely a web app is a web app, like on an iPhone or an Android or a computer. It's the same app. So as long
Yeah.
as it works on the website, I don't know.
yeah,
Though.
I've heard that like I know it's the same, but like it doesn't really work the same way. Like I've heard, like it
It might
just
be
doesn't
because
like.
yeah, it'll be because on Mac and iPhone they use Metal, don't they? On Linux it's OpenGL, and on Windows it's Vulkan or Linux is
There's
Vulkan.
other things, just like how like the actual like I think it's like literally just like how like the system architecture works for like a iOS device rather than like
Yeah.
a Mac.
Well, apparently they're not too different. Like there was a Mac that got released a couple years ago, which was an M1 Mac. It was obviously a pre-release, so it was like a press only, but it had iOS on it.
Hmm.
So it was like a MacBook running iOS. So
Yeah,
they
maybe
could
it's
test.
different now.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing now. Like Mac and iPad OS and iOS is closer than it's ever been.
Cool. Yeah, I heard something about the M1. What are they on, like M3?
M4.
M4? Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool, but I don't want to use a Mac.
They're the best chips I've ever used. Every time I've
No,
used an
I've heard the
M1 Mac, I'm
technology's
impressed.
good. It's just the operating system's like annoying. Like it's like
I'm never making Mac support for anything I make. Fuck
Yeah,
them.
fuck
yeah,
Mac.
I mean they made it even worse now. Like they made it so you need to like you can't like
Okay.
sign your own certificates or something like that.
Yep.
You can. You just have to like make sure that. So if you want an app that runs on a Mac without having to disable developer scanning on the package, then yeah, you have to get it signed by Apple. But you can
Yeah.
make app for Mac without having like permission with Apple. It just means that you have to disable a certain setting in the operating system to allow it to run.
Yeah, but that's like every user's like a normal user isn't gonna do that. Like if you make a game and you want someone to play it, they're not gonna like disable permission or enable permissions to play it. Like they're just gonna not
especially when
play
it's on
it.
Steam. Which is why I'm saying Proton and the Vulkan API layer will be the saving of gaming. So I can't wait for it. The minute we can run PC games on an Android phone that's fast enough because of Proton, that's going to be impressive. And I feel
That's
like it
like
will
one
come
of the
from-
only reasons I kind of mess with Hacks programming language, just for the cross compatibility. It's so easy,
Mhm.
but it's not that nice to use in Godot right now.
the best
There's the
language for
Hacks
cross
library for
compatibility.
Godot, but
The best language for cross compatibility, without a shadow of a doubt, is Python, but it's slow. So, take that with a pinch of salt.
I will.
This reminds me of the hardest game ever. You ain't fucking like you're old enough to know, but
Yeah, I
hardest
know what
game.
game that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, though it's just like
Yeah.
shapes, just like
That thing's evil.
rectangles.
That shit's evil. Has anyone here ever completed it?
Yeah. It's just trial and error, practice. Next one.
Does
Practice,
that
next
like
one.
do like a gravity thing?
It
I
must
don't
be like back in a time where there was some prestige about being the dev for the hardest game ever.
Can you remember the dev for Flappy Bird? Newen, something N. Newen, David N. Newen, maybe it rings a bell. And he like got so much hate mail over Flappy Bird that he shut down the application. Surely that's going to make it
I'm
worse, right?
surprised no one's made a new maze jump scare game yet.
I know,
Oh.
honestly, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe people
Maze
have,
Jump.
and you just didn't hear about it because it's not the original. I think that happens pretty constantly.
Yeah, the amount of Minecraft clones that are actually better than Minecraft is unbelievable, but they're just not Minecraft. So
Well, the problem is they don't have the support for mods, which makes it better. Like, I don't think there's like a better Minecraft-like game when you take into account mods, and that's the problem.
And the problem, I don't like Minecraft because of Microsoft. So I used to like Minecraft, but it's a shame how Microsoft have bought them and pretty much like the reason they bought them was because Notch said, "I'm pretty much done with the game now. Like it's where I want it to be," and then Microsoft, well, we can continue it. So let's buy it off you and we'll continue it. But they haven't continued it. They've added shit. They've ruined the game.
Well,
They've
the reason they
100%
wanted
ruined
to
Minecraft.
buy it was because it was making a lot of money.
I mean,
They do this to
that's
every
always the
Microsoft
reason for
game,
business.
dude. They just
Yeah,
have a
that's-
very timid business model of not changing what worked at all.
And it worked. And it's like the amount of young lads that played, sorry, not young lads, the amount of old lads that played Minecraft when they were young lads is, and don't anymore because they've ruined it and they don't understand it, is quite a lot of people.
Doesn't really matter though, because there's like a ton of new people playing it that are like younger and like don't
Yeah, and the
nearly
young
know.
generation offsets the older generation.
It's kind of one of my biggest complaints about the industry right now is like I call it a perpetual state of development. You could fall in love with a game, go on vacation for a month, come back, and the game's completely different. Everything you liked is just gone.
I mean, I don't play live service games, so it's like I can't relate to that, but I can imagine like if you're playing like I don't know Destiny 2 or something, that's probably true.
Like Rust has gone through so many different. Like,
yeah, it has.
They've remade Rust like 10 times. It's not even the.
Yeah, I was
like,
going to say, haven't they recoded it from the ground up recently into like C++ or something? I'm pretty certain they recoded the whole game from the ground up.
It's like,
like,
suddenly you wake up and they redid the entire recoil patterns of every gun in the game. And then you wake up the next day and like the whole crafting systems change. It's like, I understand adding more content, but like recreating the base archetypes, like the base structural integrity of the game doesn't make any sense to me.
Going to reward you for having muscle memory, but your muscle memory is now useless.
Well, this is why with my game I'm going to do like monthly updates and then 3-month content drops, which will be paid for. The game will be free, and then I'll just charge for content drops. The second game might not be free, but the reason I'm
like,
doing
I
a free
feel like
game
Blizzard did it right with like Diablo and Warcraft 3 because they made expansions, right?
That's
But
exactly
you could
what I'll
still
do,
play
yeah.
the classic. You didn't have to play the expansion.
Yeah. No,
Instead of
what I'll do is
forcing the updates on people.
Instead of doing like cosmetics, I'm going to do like a content drop where I'll drop 4 maps, 2 guns, you know, like a character skin maybe, and everyone has access to it if they buy that one pack. And I'll do another one in 3 months, and then another one in 3 months. And I'll give them names and trailers like Call of Duty used to do, so that there's like a hype around it. But that's what I think's missing from games. Like you see, there's a new update for Call of Duty, and you're like, same as last update, no difference. New Call of Duty's dropping, same as last Call of Duty, no point.
I just want a huge number of free players who I eternally tempt to buy the game for $5.
That's why demos are great.
And I don't even punish them for not buying it, but I'm gonna make the games like just grindy enough that I know that they will.
You sly little devil.
Yes. You don't
I wonder what would
understand I
make
played
more money.
Nix on games. I know how to be pure evil.
I wonder what would make more money if you had a free game and had a donation system where if people wanted to, they could donate, or if you had like a paid game.
Didn't Nexon make Aeon? Or that's NCSoft, isn't it?
I've heard donation systems don't really go anywhere. Like you don't really get a lot from it most of the time.
But you've got Patreon users who seem to be making thousands of pounds a month.
You know what? There was this Japanese underground, like Japanese fighting game I used to play called Get Amped.
Yeah.
And they had like a microtransaction store, right? But they had an option for you to like fill out surveys and get. I know they were making bank off people like filling out surveys with their referral links and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I swear, no one that company was genius. Because I remember I had no money as a kid. I would just sit there filling out surveys to get fucking currency in the game.
Can you believe that they keep like the amount of game development companies that are just lying at the moment through their fucking teeth is unbelievable.
Oh,
yeah, we're listening to the community, and then they don't listen to the community. Or yeah, we're not dropping a game this year, and they drop a game this year. Or yeah, we'll change this, and they never change it. It's just like people are getting fucking pissed off with it. Really
Just
annoyed.
hope Silk Song isn't a lie.
But it's like yeah, like you say, it's just building hope for players, so they'll keep playing it, and they don't.
Oh man, so I'm
I
so
don't-
keen for Silk Song. You've never played fucking Hollow Knight until you've played it in the forest and you have like 4D surround sound.
I doubt Silk Song is a lie.
I mean, I
Unless it's
hope
gonna
it
lie
isn't.
about that.
I don't even know what that is. Is that a single player game?
Yeah, I've never heard of that either.
Yeah, I know the most anticipated. Like people are mad that it didn't get released yet, and now people are way too excited about it being released this year.
Do you think VR was a flop?
No.
Man, there's
No.
nobody's gonna be on the streets when the game comes out. Everyone's gonna be at home playing it.
Same with GTA.
Tem tanta coisa para estudar que eu não sei por onde começo. Existe um guia que mostra por onde eu devo começar? Cara, em regra geral, começa estudando desenho, tá? Tem um site que a gente sempre recomenda que é o drawabox.com. Draw, de desenhe, a box, uma caixa. DesenheumaCaixa.com. Você consegue traduzir esse site e estudar por lá. Via de regra, é o melhor jeito de você começar a estudar desenho e pintura. Saca só. Esse aqui é o site, Draw a Box. Então você pode vir, por exemplo, em lições, aqui em cima, parte 1, básico. Você começa por aqui, ó. Esse é o melhor jeito de você começar a aprender desenho, tá? De verdade. Ele vai te dar toda a estrutura necessária para você aprender a desenhar.
Paste it here. What is the effect I'm doing? Enemy heal. So heal. Opponent heal fire. Growth or something like that. Okay. Var heal tracker is equal to new ability tracker, type of heal, true, so we're listening for an opponent. We don't need this additional filter here. Goodness gracious, this is a complex system. Value scalar of heal tracker. This is going to be fire ability. Dynamic fire ability. Value scalar fire ability. Register update listener. Heal tracker. Heal tracker and okay. Does this need to be executed? What? File listeners. Why is this being executed? I guess to just maybe I just need to execute it. Heal tracker. Yeah, it doesn't matter, I guess. Okay. get magnitude, so applies 0 fire. Fire applied grows by value scalar get multiplier every time the enemy heals. Now, I think that's fine. I don't know. This needs to be fire up here. So this unholy water, then we're going to add the opponent heal fire growth. New opponent heal fire growth. And scale for tier, set multiplier. We got a tier multiplier scalar. So it's just going to, yeah, okay. That makes sense. All right. So fire applied grows by every time the enemy heals. Got it. Now what I do want to do, is that going to work? An idol of some creature to sacrifice. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one. I guess we'll just see if this works. I don't know. I don't know if I'm missing something. Public const string. All right, let's see what happens. Let us see what happens. Never usually wait for your streams being in Australia, but always check out the VODs. Happy to finally say hello. Hello, Raffle Muffin. Yeah, it's very late for you, but welcome to the stream. Great to see you. Apply 0 fire. Fire applied grows by 1 every time the enemy heals. So let's see if we can get into a altercation here.
Você que é novo, você que não tá entendendo nada, a ideia do Sketch Time, eu quero aprender uma coisa. Você vai aprender junto comigo, porque eu vou mostrar o que eu faria para treinar esse tipo de coisa. Então eu espero que isso aqui seja uma fonte de aprendizado para mim e para você. Então vamos nessa, galera. Isso aqui é uma das coisas que eu ainda tenho problema, eu ainda não aprendi de verdade. Assim, eu creio que eu entendo muito mais os braços do que as pernas humanas. Aqui no caso só pernas de homenzotes. A gente vai fazer com pernas femininas depois. E vamos ver aqui o que a gente pode fazer para aprender, né? A minha ideia é realmente passar para vocês aí uma das maneiras que você pode estudar isso. Então, como a gente já viu em outros lugares, né? Algumas coisas são boas pra gente ver. São esquemas, principalmente anatômicos, né? E dos músculos por dentro. Ver o exagero, né? De muitas vezes que você vai conseguir com... Exagora. Eu escrevi tudo errado. O exagero que você consegue com bodybuilders. Então você vai ter aqui bem delimitado, né, todos esses músculos que você vai conseguir ver nos esquemas e que você também consegue encontrar em outras pessoas. Mas o mais importante, se você quer aprender a desenhar qualquer coisa, é referência. Então aqui tem algumas fotos maneiras pra gente usar de referência. Então vamos fazer o método da cópia. Vamos copiar aqui uma perna. E eu vou tentar mostrar para vocês algumas das relações de coisas interessantes que eu já vi acontecendo por aqui nesse tipo de coisa. Pessoal, uma das coisas que eu gosto sobre pernas é que a gente vai ter ali um negócio que muitas vezes o pessoal chama de reta contra curva, curva contra reta, straight versus curves, que é aquela ideia de retas e curvas. Então, uma das retas e curvas que você pode observar em uma perna é... onde tende a ser reto de um lado, vai ser curvo do outro. Então, se você imaginar toda essa lateral aqui da perna, veja bem que ele pode ser simplificado como uma reta. Mas esse lado aqui fica difícil de fazer reto, né? Então aqui a gente pode imaginar que aqui tem uma curva. Posicionando o joelho aqui em algum lugar, a gente pode ver que embaixo a situação inverte, né? Fica mais fácil de escrever essa parte com uma reta e essa parte com uma curva, né? Ou duas, né? Tipo uma, duas. Mas é isso daí. Então, o que eu errei aqui foi só totalmente a proporção das coisas. Mas o que interessa é você começar a conseguir perceber que existe aqui, né, um jogo entre essas retas e curvas e como as coisas funcionam. Isso já vai ser muito importante para você começar a fazer algumas coisas que façam mais sentido e que tenham mais uma cara legal. Lógico, né? Eu acho que aqui a gente pode fazer, talvez, curva dos dois lados. A reta, ela fica meio que aqui dentro, né? Na real, é algo assim que a gente vai ver. E dependendo da fortitude da pessoa, a gente vai ter também um músculo aqui saindo e quebrando esse formato, né? Mas eu acho que talvez uma perna bem fina, uma perna mais assim, consideravelmente humana, tradicional, ou ser humano magrinho, normal, vamos dizer assim, supondo que a magreza é normalidade, né? Supondo, né? Tô imaginando aqui o homem das cavernas. Eu acho que algo assim é algo que a gente vai conseguir ver por aí. Então, gente, me desculpe se não tá muito lindo, mas eu também tô aprendendo, né? Então vamos fazer juntos, que é o legal. Então, vamos ver o que a gente consegue encontrar de músculos aqui nesse negócio. Eu acho que é muito interessante a gente pensar também em estrutura óssea. Então, uma coisa que eu sei, por fato, é que o osso vai conectar aqui em cima, né, com a bacia. Isso aqui é um robô, né? E esse osso, ele vai caminhar basicamente numa curva por aqui. Então, isso é muito interessante. Aqui são dois ossos, né? Mas isso aqui, o mais a fundo, não importa muito pra gente. O que importa é que esse osso ele vem num ângulo, e isso é muito interessante, que faz uma diferença. Porque é desse ponto aqui que a gente vai ter um monte de músculos vindo para se encontrar ali com outras partes da perna. Como, por exemplo, a gente vai ter aqui também todos esses músculos que vêm lá desse canto, né, para se encontrar lá atrás da perna. Então aqui a gente também tem esses 3 gomos principais, e eu acho que isso é bom a gente pensar. Então eu tô meio que vendo isso. Então eu tô sentindo que aqui a gente tem principalmente esses 3 gomos. Esses 3 aqui são os principais caras. E aqui embaixo a gente vai ter mais fortemente, né, o que vai ter maior impacto aqui vai ser realmente a batata do perna, que é o músculo mais importante aqui, que vai ter mais destaque. E maneiro. Então esses 3 caras são importantes. Eu acho que a gente conseguiu extrair alguma informação desse esquemático aqui, né? O que importa é isso, você tentar analisar, olhar para essas imagens, ver o que você consegue extrair de informação útil. Vamos tentar encontrar esse tipo de relação aqui nessa perna. Forte demais. Vou fazer aqui também, eu vou fazer a mesma perna, né? Não vou fazer uma perna diferente, eu vou fazer essa mesma pernoca aqui. Então eu consigo imaginar novamente que tem um osso aqui nesse canto, que ele tá vindo aqui pra cá, aqui a gente vai ter uma espécie de joelho e que a gente vai ter todos esses formatos aqui da perna acontecendo por aqui. Olha que legal, a gente vai ter a curva, né, dessa perna aqui muito mais acentuada e ao invés do que a gente tinha antes. E olha que legal, aqui nesse esquema não estava muito claro, mas esse músculo que vem lá de cima, olha que engraçado, né? Ele vem daqui, ele vem conectando e ele puxa para trás aqui do joelho, né? Olha só que interessante isso. Então ele vai vir por aqui assim para se conectar com o joelho, pelo menos essa é a impressão. Olha isso mesmo, olha, dá para ver que ele tá olha que legal. Que legal, ó, já é uma relação aqui que eu nunca tinha pensado na real. Que ele vem aqui, ele vem abraçar o joelho. Esse músculo sai lá de cima para dar um abracinho no joelho. Olha que loucura. Que interessante. Então aqueles 3 gomos, a gente consegue ver eles aqui. Olha que legal. Tá vendo como aqui tem um espaço branco muito maior? Eu tô achando que isso daqui é um tendão mesmo. Então nesse espaço de tendão, você não vai ter o crescimento daquele músculo, né? Ele vai ter só um espaço vazio. Nesse espaço vazio, esses 2 caras crescem tanto com o exercício hipertrófico que esses 2 caras aqui, eles quase que se encostam aqui embaixo, né? E o outro músculo vai sair somente aqui de cima. Olha que coisa louca. Então a gente tem aqueles 3 gomos heróicos, né? A gente sempre vai ver esses músculos em super-heróis. E aqui são vários outros músculos estriados, né? Que provavelmente não tem tanta definição aqui por causa da quantidade de gordura corporal de um ser humano normal, né? Em condições saudáveis, a gente não vai ver todos os músculos de um corpo de um cara bombado, a não ser que o cara esteja lá com 2% de gordura corporal. Apesar que esse cara eu acho que ele tem os 2%. Deve ser alguém com... tem que ter muito pouco gordura no corpo para poder ver todos os músculos, né? Ou pele nenhuma, no caso. Mas eu acho que isso daqui já é suficiente. E olha só que legal. Até a perna aqui também a gente vai ter algo muito mais... não é mesmo? Então, ó, já gostei, já estamos pensando aqui em algumas coisas diferentes. Eu sempre fiquei encafifado, né? Porque que esse músculo aqui ficava mais em cima, sendo que em teoria os três ocupam, vamos dizer assim, as mesmas parcelas da coxa. E é realmente por causa desse tendão aqui que vai ligar no joelho, no final das contas. São duas partes, né? Eu acho legal pensar nisso, que o joelho são pelo menos duas partes. Não tem mais coisa acontecendo ali, mas duas partes já é suficiente pra gente ter alguma ideia do que a gente tá fazendo. Deixa eu deletar isso. Deixa eu deletar isso. Não quer deletar. Acho que eu tô usando a camada errada. E eu vou colar esses dois aqui pra direita. Muito bom, muito legal. Eu tô sentindo algo bom aqui acontecendo. Tem alguma coisa interessante funcionando por aqui nessas coxas. Vamos ver mais uma perna de frente. Vamos pegar aqui um exemplo um pouco mais... menos, na verdade. Um pouco mais comum, menos super mega bombadão. Então acho que isso aqui é uma coxa mais, assim, né? Realista, se você considerar o tipo de personagem do mundo comumzinho. Então vamos ver. Nossa, eu tô cheio de presunções sobre o que é normal e o que não é, né? Por favor, desculpem as minhas... as coisas que eu assumo sobre o mundo. Na verdade, eu só tô fazendo aqui uma média, né? Eu acho que se você consegue entender vamos dizer assim, o mediano no espectro entre... a gente pode supor, né? Na verdade, não é um espectro. Acho que a gente teria que fazer algo mais assim, né? Porque sempre acontece isso, né? A gente não entender muito bem tudo que a gente tem que desenhar, porque existem variações. Então a gente pode fazer magro e gordo, como os eixos... Lá vai eu inventar coisa. Eu não sei o que eu tô falando aqui. Magro e gordo aqui, e forte e fraco pra cá, certo? Então isso aqui eu acho que é uma maneira muito mais legal da gente imaginar. Então, aqui no meio a gente tem uma pessoa que não é nem magra, nem gorda, nem forte, nem fraca. E eu acho que isso aqui é um exemplo bom disso. Apesar que esse cara é bem mais forte do que eu. Mas é porque eu posso não ser normal, eu posso simplesmente estar aqui no fraco. Então a gente poderia ter um cara forte e magro, forte e gordo. Então isso aqui seria a taxa de gordura no corpo. E a gente pode fazer assim, né? Então, onde que os seus personagens, se você está criando personagens originais, né? Onde que, se eles são seres humanos, ou até mesmo animais, onde que eles se encaixam aqui nesse lugar, né? Ele é mais forte e gordo, ou ele é mais magro e fraco, ou ele é forte, ou ele é fraco e gordo, todo molinho. Se a gente pensar no troll que a gente fez na última live, eu acho que ele se encaixa aqui no forte e gordo em algum lugar por aqui. Talvez até mais pro fraco, porque ele é meio... né? O mais forte mesmo seria um bichão talvez mais forte assim, né? Tipo Superman, tá entendendo? Mais triangular. Como ele é gordão, ele é todo redondão, e isso também é uma coisa legal. Então são características diferentes. O que eu tô pensando aqui é realmente no mediano, aquele que não é tão forte, nem tão magro, nem tão gordo. Então eu acho que esse aqui é um exemplo legal disso daqui. A gente tem uma visão clara da anatomia ainda, e... porque ele tem pernas malhadas, mas ele também tem ali um físico mais ou menos tranquilinho, não é mesmo? Não é nada assim tão coisado. Vocês podem ver que aqui eu tô tentando imaginar a estrutura óssea que existe dentro desse cara, não é mesmo? E eu acho que isso é um exercício bem legal para você fazer também. Eu sinto que aqui, ó, tem um caroço, tá vendo esse caroço aqui? E eu tô imaginando que realmente é uma influência dessa musculatura. Então vamos fazer esta perna desse cara. Então o que a gente já sabe? Eu sei que os joelhos são duas partes. A gente vai ter um pedaço aqui, outro pra cá. Eu sei também que a gente normalmente vai ter uma linha reta por aqui e uma curva por aqui. Muito bom. Então a gente consegue ver alguns desses princípios sendo mantidos pra cá. Dos gomos, olha só que interessante. Esse aqui eu não consigo visualizar tão bem quanto no outro. Mas aqui, pelo menos o gomo da direita, ele tá bem avantajadinho aqui ainda. E ele tem aqui também mais uma musculatura, né? Vindo desse lado. O que é interessante. Aqui teria aquele carocinho saudável. Aquele músculo que vem lá de cima, né? Ele também vem por aqui e abraça o joelho aqui embaixo. Então ele dá esse formato pro joelho daqui. Essa curvinha. Então aqui na coxa a gente tem aqui uma curva menos acentuada, que essa mais por causa dos músculos da batata que estão aqui, né? A gente consegue ver eles, mesmo num perfil de frente, a gente tem mais acesso aos músculos da batata. E nos músculos da batata a gente tem isso daqui, e que dá pra ver bem direitinho. E lá pra cá a gente vai começar a ter os ossos do pé. Olha só que interessante, eu não mexi muito nisso, mas eu acho que o pé tem esse carocinho aqui, que a gente já consegue senti-lo nos nossos próprios corpos. Então isso não é um problema, né? A gente consegue imaginar esse tipo de coisa. E um pezote aqui, olha só que maneiro, tem muita coisa legal nisso daqui, gente, putz grila. Eu sinto que eu tô aprendendo bastante. Então, ok. Tô conseguindo visualizar, vocês estão visualizando? Eu tô visualizando. Uma coisa que a gente pode fazer depois, galera, eu acho que pode ser um complemento para esse vídeo, talvez feito aí um outro dia. Eu quero ver se eu consigo aumentar a frequência de vídeos aqui no canal, vamos ver se eu consigo fazer isso. Uma coisa que a gente pode tentar fazer é... eu recomendo muito que você faça, depois que você fizer essas cópias, esses estudos e esses insights, né, sobre essas coisas, ter esses insights, eu acho que é muito bom e vale muito a pena que você tente fazer de cabeça depois. Talvez até logo depois, né, pra você ter ali uma memória um pouquinho mais forçada. Então você copia, dá um tempinho, depois tenta fazer sem copiar, né, fazendo de cabeça pra ver o que você conseguiu reter. E aí você consegue ver o que você tá errando e o que você tá acertando. Então eu acho que essa é uma boa. Aqui eu não sei exatamente como fazer a bacia. Eu sei que tem um tutorial muito bom no canal do Proco sobre isso, e eu preciso realmente ir lá assisti-lo. No canal do Proco, eu recomendo todo mundo pra vocês isso daí. Eu não sei exatamente, eu acho que era algo assim que ele fazia, mas eu não tenho como ter muita certeza. Então aqui vamos tentar imaginar onde estão os ossos dessa perna, desse cara aqui. E pra gente tentar fazer aqui essas pernocas. Acho que isso aqui tá um pouco mais pra cá. Bom, então aqui eu tô tentando imaginar o que existe por dentro. Eu acho que isso já deve ter ficado bem claro pra vocês até o momento. Deixa eu pegar de novo esse vermelho. Isso é um pouco mais escuro também, não tem problema. E vamos ver o que a gente consegue imaginar. Eu não vi a estrutura dos músculos de lado, mas eu vou tentar supor o que eu aprendi aqui com a perna de frente. Então algumas coisas a gente pode ver que já são evidentes. A gente tem aqui o formato do joelho. Estou imaginando ele em dois pedaços, um pedaço mais reto por cima, um outro mais redondinho por baixo. Uma coisa que é legal que a gente vai ter aqui é o bambam. O cara tem um bambam, não é mesmo? Isso é legal da gente pôr. Ok. Então, pelo que eu tô vendo, a coxa vai ter um músculo aqui atrás e um tendão pra cá. Isso você consegue sentir na sua perna também, né? Se você pôr a mão ali, você consegue ver que aqui atrás a gente tem um tendão mais comprido mesmo. Então aqui vai ter uma linha um pouquinho mais reta, eu imagino. Sobre a batata da perna, aqui eu tô vendo que ela é bem comprida. E pelo menos nessa pessoa ela acontece bem lá em cima. E ela tá bem quadradinha nessa pessoa. Ao invés de bem redonda ou algo assim, ela tá bem quadradinha lá pra cima. E aqui também tem alguns outros músculos que vão levar a gente para uma perna aqui mais fina aqui embaixo. E aqui, apesar de a gente não estar conseguindo ver muito bem por causa da roupinha que ele tá usando, eu sinto que aqui tem o volume do equipamento do rapaz, mas aqui na frente a gente tem um volume aqui pra coxa também, que eu imagino que sejam aqueles 3 gombos que a gente tinha feito. Eu não sei exatamente. Talvez um daqueles gomos esteja por aqui, aquele do meio esteja por aqui em cima e aquele outro esteja por lá, não é mesmo? Eu acho que é algo assim que a gente está vendo aqui nessa imagem. Então esse aqui, galera, é realmente uma maneira da gente treinar junto e eu espero que você também pegue aí umas fotos, pode ser essas mesmas fotos, dá um print no meu vídeo, eu não sei, você se vira aí, arrume umas referências e tente copiar você também aí algumas pernas, porque é importante que a gente copie, né, galera? Então eu tô sentindo aqui que eu tô pegando algumas referências legais aqui, copiando essas pernas. Eu espero que também tenha sido útil aí pra vocês este vídeo. Eu vou aqui só fazer mais um pouquinho dos detalhes no pé desse cara. E é isso daí, gente. Este é o nosso Sketch Time de hoje. Espero que vocês tenham curtido.
Destroyed that. Like going through the learning curve of doing something. So, you know, it's definitely like, yeah, it's just like, I think that's natural. Sometimes you just feel a little bit overwhelmed or that you just don't want to go through the trouble. But that's just the case with anything. Any sophisticated tool, you gotta, you know, you're gonna have to figure out a way to work with it, you know? If you want to use it, that is. Lantern. We're gonna do ritual. And, or maybe relic. Relic and ritual? I don't know. Lantern. So this is a 2x2, which has an excluded cell of 0, 1. So let's do 0, 1 as the excluded cell. Turn cooldown, let's do something like 6. Okay, so there's the lantern. We gotta load the art in here. And then let's create a lantern script. And I'm just gonna actually go ahead and make sure that I've done this setup correctly. So I'm actually gonna add this to the run manager. All right, let's see what it looks like. When you open a game enterprise, I'm open for opportunities. Yeah, I mean, if I get to that point. Okay, so now we've got the lantern, which seems to be shaped correctly here. So that looks really good. That lantern turned out pretty good, actually. Now, it doesn't do any, well, it has the alembic ability, but we're gonna change that. That turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that lantern. There's maybe one thing that I want to do, actually. I'm not really making use of the black spaces to separate the parts of the branch, which I don't know if that's necessarily a problem, but it's definitely not something that I'm doing here, which I want to make it match the theme, so I want to, you know, make sure I'm using that. Okay, so just a couple of black pixels. Helps a little bit. Hi, buddy. Who's a good boy? Alright. Yeah, that looks better. I like that better. So now I'm using like little black pixels to create separation. Okay, cool. So now we gotta write the lantern ability. Now we gotta write the lantern ability. Or maybe make it look a little bit more hooked onto the branch. Maybe add a piece that goes up. Let's see. Kind of like that. Oh yeah, look at that. How's that looking? The art is awesome. Thank you, Nicholas. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's you know, it's going good. I do like that little hook better though. So we'll keep that in place. See how that looks like in game. Yeah, look at that. Better, I think, yeah. Yeah, I think that's fine. I like it. Okay, so now we gotta write the ability for the lantern, which is the shield ability, right? Gain shield when fire is applied. Oh, so this is gonna be the same exact thing that I just did, basically. So this is actually not gonna be... Maybe I'll make it more like the slime, though. So I'm gonna look at what the slime is doing. Why did I call this simple damage reflection? Whatever. Whatever. Paste. What are we gonna call this? Shield on fire applied, I guess I'll call it. Shield on fire applied. All right, let's take a look at what we need to do in here. And I'll also just add this to the lantern right away. So we're gonna make this more like the slime. So damage taken provider. So I'm probably gonna need a provider here that tracks fire applications. I wonder if I should just use an ability tracker for this. Maybe I should use an ability tracker. You know what I'm thinking? I might not even need this. I could change this to an ability tracker as well. Shield on fire applied. Give me 1 second. All right. About to be laid off at 24 from software dev. Kind of scary. Thought of starting game dev again, but scared of failing. Just wanted to say your work and calm energy are inspiring. Hope your game gets the recognition it deserves. Wishing you all the best. Well, thank you so much, Clint, for the very generous 50 pounds. That's very, very generous. Thank you very much. I appreciate that greatly. And yeah, I'm sorry to hear about being laid off. The good news about being a software dev is that it's generally relatively easy to find a new job. It may take long, but I think, because I was a software engineer too, the fortunate thing about that industry is that the demand for software engineers might wane and wax like based on market conditions, but the fact of the matter is there's always going to be a demand for them. Well, we'll see how AI goes. So I think you'll be able to find a new job if you look. But if you want to start game dev, I mean, what I would recommend is like, you know, obviously I don't know your financial situation, but one of the reasons I'm doing game dev right now is because I have a plenty wide safety net financially, where even if I run out of the money that's in my bank account, there's absolutely no way that I can't pay my bills. So, you know, you have to evaluate your situation, and there's a massive opportunity cost too, you know, like there is an opportunity cost to, what I'm doing, which is that I'm leaving a salary on the table, right? So I'm making much less money than I otherwise would. So yeah, I mean, it can be a little bit scary and apprehensive, but the best you can do is just de-risk as much as possible, make the risk as safe as possible, in other words, and then yeah, see how it works. And of course, like if it's going to take you a while to find a job, you can do both, right? You can do game dev while you're applying to jobs and doing interviews. So you can kind of make the best of both worlds too. So anyway, I hope it works out for you, but thank you again for the 50 pounds. Very much appreciate that. And yeah, I wish you luck as well. Took me 6 months to find a new job a while ago. However, this was in the US. Yeah, I think the tech industry in the US is a little bit bad right now. I have a friend who's a junior developer who can't find a job right now. So, I mean, the other important thing too is like, do you have connections? You know, are there people that you have worked with in the past who are at other companies right now, and you can just hit them up and say, hey, is there any job openings? Would you recommend me for something? That's honestly like the best way to get a job if you can do it. Getting a job through a recommendation is almost always easier than trying to get a job just through a cold application. Let me see if I can set this up. So let's get rid of this. So shield on fire applied. So fire tracker, shield ability. Fire, we're gonna turn that off. Oh, do I need to add shoot? You know what I just thought of? I am gonna need a filter, I think. Where is that? So I think I always want to exclude. Well, maybe I don't. Yeah, maybe I don't. You know what? I'll just leave it. Yeah, I'll just leave it. I was going to exclude always from the ability tracker tracking abilities of this card, but I don't think, maybe I don't need to do that. Should I do that? So basically, if I were to alchemize this into a card that also applies fire, then it would apply shield as well, or it would gain shield as well. I don't know, we'll just leave it, that's fine. Fire tracker. Yeah, the problem is, so this ability tracker just keeps going up. And the problem is I want this to reset after applying the shield. I want this to reset after applying the shield. That's the thing. Hello, cat. Hello. So yeah, so if I add the fire tracker and the dynamic shield ability, the problem is this is going to keep ticking up. I want to clear this. I want to clear this. That's the thing. Oh, I also, oops, I just realized I did something wrong. Yeah, this needs to be opponent heal fire growth. And this needs to be shield on fire applied. Okay. That was almost a disaster. So how do I make this reset? How do I make this reset? How do I make this reset? So this register update listener, dynamic shield ability, fire tracker, on ability executed. Oh man, how am I gonna do this? How am I going to do this? So yeah, I don't want this number to keep growing. I only want it to be, I basically just want to be at the slime. So maybe I do need to do something like damage provider. Damage provider, because this, what this does is this looks at the history. So let me rewrite this description here so this is a little bit clearer. Apply 1 preserve for each fire applied since last execution. So that's essentially what it's going to say. Now I need to clear this though, because it's just going to keep going up. How do I clear the ability tracker? The problem with this system is I don't have a way of really defining the ordering of ability executions, because what I could do in here is I could reset it in here. What are you doing, bud? I could reset it in here based on a flag, which is like, oh, reset, because this is a long-lived tracker, so it just, the number that it's tracking keeps ticking up every time an ability is whatever. So I wonder, shoot, what I, it might be time, honestly, to do something like a public override in the base card ability here. Why do I even have this overridden? I don't need to do that. Oh, yes, I do. Never mind. So in the base card ability, it might make sense to add a post execute function. I think I might do that because I need to be able to have control over like resetting state, but only after all the abilities have executed, because the problem is if I reset the state in here somewhere, it's going to reset that tracked value before the fire or the shield, or before the shield gets applied. So I need to, I think that's probably the way to do it, honestly. So we'll do public abstract void post execute execution context with state execution context. We'll go to my base card, and I'm actually going to make this a virtual so I don't have to override it. Yeah. And then in my base card, what I'll do is I'll say at the very end, ability.post execute enhanced context. And then in the shield on fire applied, what I'll do is I can actually do an override in here. So I can do public override void post execute. And since I have a reference to this fire tracker, I'll just do fire tracker dot reset execution, or reset. Oh, I need to store that. Okay. Private read-only ability tracker fire tracker. Fire tracker.reset. I think that's going to work. I have no clue. Original multiplier. What is this? Oh, I need to change the scaling. Make tier multiplier scalar 1. Why is that not working? Oh, this needs to be ability scalar. Original magnitude. What? Make tier multiplier scalar. Where is this? Oh yeah, it's just 1. Okay, that's fine. Is this gonna work? Let's see. My last 2 jobs were through LinkedIn, but it's kind of luck. There's a lot of phantom positions, yeah. Junior dev in the UK market's rough right now. Living with my parents, that's not all bad. Dad says I should take risks while I'm young, but honestly, it's terrifying. Yeah, I mean, you know, I can't make the decision for you, but if your parents are giving you a place to stay and they're actively encouraging you to take the risk, then I would say it's a very low risk scenario, you know? So I would strongly consider taking that opportunity. just need a small placed event. You're watching the stream in silence for a bit now. That's okay. You're more than welcome to participate as often as you like. But yeah, I mean, I would encourage you take it, especially if you've got the support and encouragement of your parents, both financially and emotionally. Then it sounds very low risk to me. I mean, the major risk here is obviously missing out on, you know, the opportunity cost of earning a salary, but also the risk is maybe that your